Hi, and welcome to week 4 of the Google Certified Educator course that we've been working through. You guys are all doing great, so we're past the halfway mark. And this week we're going to be talking about Google Slides and YouTube. So the first thing that I want to do is go through the Google Slides with you. So there's a few ways that you can get to Google Slides, like everything else in Google. You can go to slides.google.com. Or if you feel more comfortable starting with your drive, going to your drive, and from there using that new button and going to Google Slides. Okay, this is what an untitled presentation looks like. Usually when you open up the slideshow for the first time, on the right you'll get your themes. These are prescribed themes that Google uses, so if you liked one of these you could go ahead and click on it and it would bring over that theme into your slideshow. You can also import themes, and I have a how-to that'll show you where you can go to get some different themes that you might like. So here's themes that I've used in the past. So if I wanted to upload one of these, I could choose it and just go ahead and upload it into my presentation for today. Okay, so you always get the very first slide or a title slide. If you're used to working in PowerPoint, it works very much the same way. So you can go ahead and click your title. And play around with that a little bit. If you need to insert more slides, you can go to Slide and New Slide. If you don't like the layout of this, you can always right-click on the slide or go up to Slide Apply Layout, and it'll usually give you a few different layout features that you might like instead. So if you wanted some blank space here, maybe to put a video or some photos, you could do that, or you could even just delete all of this stuff and start with a nice blank canvas for you to add materials. So some of the materials that you can add in a Google slideshow, you can use these tools that are up here on your toolbar in the Omnibox, or you can also use this toolbar. You'll see you have the mouse button, you have text box, image, shapes, arrows. You can even put comments, you can add backgrounds, your layouts, the themes, and the transitions. So if you're used to working with PowerPoint, a lot of you use transitions. So that's just the transition of one slide to the next. So if I wanted to add a transition here, I could do the slide in from the right, apply this to all slides or just that one slide, and then I can play and see what it's going to look like. And then it would go into the transitions. All right, so you have that ability if you like that in PowerPoint. Also, you can add images just by going here. You can upload them from your computer, search the web, or use any of these options down here. So those are ways to get photos in. You can also use your Explore tool, which is down in the right. We talked about Explore when we were going over Google Docs. You have the same capability here. So if I go to Explore and I want to type in Google Slides, gives me my web results, but it also gives me my images here, so I can just pull over that image. Another nice feature is you can crop right here, so if this is too big or you want to rotate it, you can just pull this and make it bigger. You can rotate it here by using that button. You can, delete it, of course, if you don't like that. But for right now, we're going to put in some images so that we can kind of mess around with those a little bit. Okay. If you want to, it's a little big, so I'm going to cut this down, bring it here into the center. So if you're doing a lesson or your students are building a Google slideshow and they have an image that they're working around, they can come up here and they can put in different shapes and different features. So if I wanted to point out something in this picture, I can do that. I like to make my lines kind of thicker so we can see. So I'm pointing at the eyes, maybe, and I don't know if this is true, so nobody quote me on this. I want to put our nocturnal animals and can see great distances. Okay. So students can do that. They can also add different shapes. So maybe if you want to add a circle, to look at those spots. The circle will be filled in, but you can just go up here and say that you want it to be a transparent circle. Maybe you're doing a border color and you want to point out that you have some spots here. You can add an arrow. Okay, so you can really build in different aspects on this one space. It's really nice for like an infographic or for something that's more interactive with your students. Okay, you can also add animations. So if you like animations, you can do that. So if I were to click on this arrow and go up here to insert animation, I can have this appear on the click. So what happens when I get to this slide, you see that it's not there, but when I click, that will appear. So you can add those animations into your slideshow as you go. Okay. I'm going to now go to a new slide just for some blank workspace, and now we can go to insert and let's do a video. So if I go to insert video, again you can search, you can go by URL or go to something that's in your drive. So I'm just going to search Jaguar to keep with the same theme. Okay, you can preview these right here if you've never looked at them before. So if I just wanted to preview what this was, I can click on it and it will go through the video and I can kind of see if I think that it's something that would work for my students. Okay, we're going to choose this one. So I click on it and click select. It adds that video and embeds it right into my Google Slideshow. Now this is great because if you send kids to a link using YouTube, they're usually going to get distracted with, the ads that are on the side or upcoming videos, or they might just get distracted by typing in their favorite rapper or clothes designer or YouTube vlogger. So it's good to have it right here. You can even add questions on this side. Oops, it would help if I could spell. And again, I'm having problems spelling today, so just ignore that and I'll fix it. So you can even have questions here and then have the students insert a map down below after watching the video, but the video will play right here in the slide, so they don't have to mess with that. Okay, it's really great for changing them from a consumer to a creator. So they're starting to create content in this Google slide. It's awesome for group projects. If you're having students work through a project together, they can all add their own slides to this presentation. You have a few present options. So the first present option is just the generic present from the beginning, and this will make it large screen on your computer. And then of course you can flip through the different slides. Play the video right here while the questions are on the left side. So that's what it looks like to do a generic preview. You also have captions at the bottom. So if there's any captions that you want to turn on, you can go ahead and turn that on. And do you see at the bottom how it's recording what I'm saying on this video, which is really great if you need that extra for students who might have problems paying attention, or maybe your ELL students who need to see it in print if that makes it easier for them, but that's an option. So again, that's just your captions and I can turn that on or off as I want. So I'm also just going to exit out of here. The second option is to do a presenter view. When you do a presenter view, it gives you a smaller window here. You have your speaker notes, so if there's any notes that you want to have, you can use that. You also have the ability to use audience tools, which is a Q&A. So if you want the students to be able to ask questions while you're going through your presentation, you can use the Q&A. Also a great tool for e-learning days if you record a presentation that you've created on Google Slides and kind of do what I'm doing now. You can have you know, some Q&As up as you're doing it. So I can start new. The questions will appear here. The only difference is you have to give the students this slide URL for them to be able to put questions in. So it's a little different, but mess around with that because it's a pretty neat feature. Okay, so that's about it for Google Slides. Again, if you're used to working in PowerPoint, this is very similar, although you do have, I believe that there are a lot easier features to work with as far as adding those graphics in there and also sharing and collaborating with students throughout in your classes. All right, thanks, and I hope that you're successful in playing around a little bit with Google Slides.